This year is its 65th birthday, and over 90% of homes in America have at least one. I'm talking about the microwave oven, a major time saver in many American kitchens, but a few easy-to-make microwave missteps could increase the risk of food poisoning for you and your family. So here to tell us about some of the most common pitfalls and how to avoid them is our resident food coach and registered dietitian, Cynthia Sass. Cynthia, great to see you.
You too, thanks.
So the microwave, it is ubiquitous in almost any American kitchen, but yet there are things that a lot of us are doing wrong when it comes to microwaves. And you say the biggest misstep is that a lot of times people just aren't cooking their food thoroughly.
Yes, and you know, the very first food to ever be cooked in a microwave was popcorn. And that's a dry food. But when we cook wet foods or leftovers in there, it gets a little bit trickier because one of the potential problems is microwaves may not cook the food evenly. So it can leave cold pockets in the food where bacteria don't get killed. Now, sometimes those bacteria are coming from leftovers because, according to the American Dietetic Association, about a third of people have their refrigerator set above 40 degrees, and that's in the danger zone. So any temperature between 40 and 140 degrees, bacteria continue to grow. The trouble is you don't see them, smell them, or taste them. So if you cook your food, you put it in the refrigerator, and it's at, let's say, 42 degrees. Then you put that in the microwave, and you have a cold pocket where some of that bacteria that's been growing doesn't get killed off. You could get a mouthful of bacteria and not even know it.
So how do you know you've cooked your food properly in the microwave?
Well, one thing is if you have an older microwave that doesn't have a turntable on the inside, you definitely want to stop cooking at least halfway through and rotate your food and also stir it. Then when you take it out, when the cooking time is over, you want to insert a meat thermometer into the center of the food, and you want to make sure that it has hit at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the temperature at which all of those bacteria will be killed.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. Now, I just have to ask you, we know that microwaves work using radiation, right? That's how they warm up our food. Is there any danger to the radiation itself?
Not that we know of. I mean, they've been around, as you said, 65 years now. And
so far, so good.
Certainly, there are some people I know who choose not to have a microwave in their home, but if you do use one, there's no indication right now that there's a risk to cooking your food there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, another misstep you say is that we often cross-contaminate in our microwave. Is that right?
Yes. Now, about half of us use our microwave to thaw raw meat. And so when you do that, those juices potentially contain, bacteria. What some people will do, unfortunately, is they'll put the raw meat on a plate, defrost it or thaw it in the microwave, then maybe they'll cook it and put it back on that plate to serve it, and so you may get, again, some mouthful of bacteria when you eat that cooked food. So you don't want to do that. And also, even just the juices dripping inside or around the microwave, you want to make sure that you clean those up as soon as possible so they don't linger. Those are invisible, and we tend to spread them all around sometimes.
Absolutely, and we certainly know that raw meat needs to be handled very carefully, always. Now, what about the container that we use to warm up our food? That's very important as well, right?
It is. A lot of us like to reuse containers, things like margarine tubs and yogurt containers and things like this, but you really don't want to put this in your microwave to reheat any food, even if it's just for a few minutes. You always want to look for something like a heat-proof glass container. That is the safest. These can sort of deteriorate in the microwave, and some of the chemicals from the plastic can leach into your food and migrate into there. So no plastic in the microwave. Always use glass whenever possible, or something like a ceramic that's microwave safe.
Yes, and we keep hearing more and more about how plastics in general, you need to be careful about exactly what kind you're using. So no plastics in the microwave, golden rule. Now, a lot of people also don't clean their microwave frequently enough. They may be surprised to hear how often you are supposed to clean it.
Yes, a survey found that 50% of office workers say that their office microwave is cleaned once a month or less.
Oh, that's just nasty.
That's right, and it really should be cleaned at least once a week. If you want to keep it all natural, you can use baking soda and vinegar. They're great cleaning solutions, all natural and also low cost and easy. But why all this is so important is that, according to the statistics, 325,000 people a year are going to the hospital with foodborne illness. So those are not just the people that have it, but the ones that are sick enough to go to the hospital. And 5,000 people a year die. So if you can prevent some of these things just by making a few simple changes in your kitchen, especially for pregnant women, older adults, people whose immune systems are a little weaker or run down, or if they've been recently sick or injured, it's really important to have that better safe than sorry policy.
Now, let me just ask you this, because I know a lot of people are under the impression, okay, the office microwave may be disgusting, but I'm just going to place my food in its little container right here. It's not going to touch anything else. It'll be fine. I mean, that doesn't really work, does it?
Right. Those little bits of food that are in there that sometimes can drop into your food. I know you put, sometimes even if you put your food in there and you put a piece of, let's say, wax paper over the top, and by the time you open the microwave, that paper's no longer on top of your food. It's sort of like in the back of the microwave. So
don't fool yourself. If it's dirty, it can somehow migrate onto your food.
Right. Let's get that baking soda and vinegar out once a week, or it may be even more often.
Just rotate with your office mates.
Right.
Everyone
Volunteer.
gets a chance. That's right. Thank you so much, Cynthia Sass, for all of that. And don't forget, you can follow ABC News Now on Facebook and Twitter. Just search ABC News Now.